You know, if I had to be honest with you guys, I didn't even know that Miss Essay was on until I heard Chidimma's name. I don't focus on things and events, especially those that started during the apartheid era, where black people and people of color were not allowed to participate until later into the competition, where you started seeing the first person of color participating and eventually the first person of color winning. So for me, the first Miss South Africa was actually a Miss Dutch, if we had to be honest, followed by a Miss Britain. If you had to follow their lineage, where they come from, they were not honestly Miss South Africans. But anyway, today I'm happy that the Minister of Home Affairs came to clarify this Chidimma issue. And because black people don't like listening to black people, I hope this time around you guys will listen when the words come from your white master, your colonizer, because you listen to them better than us, and you will understand exactly what they are saying, and you will take it as fact. Because when we talk, we're just talking rubbish. You guys want to be proudly Miss South Africa. You don't even know when this competition started. But anyway, let's get into that and much more.
Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Said So. I'm your host, Kagiso Hlongwane Zinjiva Sono, and we're back at it again with another one. Again, I told you, it's not going to be the last time we cover this Chidimma and Miss South Africa issue. For me, it's a personal issue because I'm a Pan-Africanist. And I want African people to wake up by giving African people information that they've that has been hidden from them or that they are ignoring. And I want Africa to realize that Africa's unity is better for all African countries. If one African country is poor, it will be a problem to the neighboring country of Africa. If one African brother does not have food, there will be an nuisance to the African brother that has food. Like the great saying that says, the poor don't sleep at night because they are hungry, and the rich don't sleep at night because the poor are coming for their goods. You understand? I'm paraphrasing it, but it's something like that. So I'm that person. I want to give you guys information. I'm a true lover of the African spirit of Ubuntu, and I honestly believe that Africans can unite and solve African problems. You guys who've been following my channel for some time know what I'm talking about. In this channel, or in this episode rather, I want to also give you guys a brief background on South African map, maybe the map of Africa, and just remind you guys that this name South Africa is not a name that comes from the Bantu people. It's not a name that comes from the Batu people. It's not a name that comes from our people. It's a name that was forced on us by the colonizers, being the Dutch and the British. It's not something to be proud of to call yourself a South African. By calling yourself a South African, you are submitting to the thinking patterns of the British. But anyway, before I get into that, let's listen to what the Minister of Home Affairs, forgot his name, what is he saying about this whole issue of Chidimma. And it's very interesting, the type of information that he released. Just listen to this, guys.
Then those are South Africans. However, what I would like to emphasize is that Home Affairs, one of the challenges we've had in recent years is all these court cases that have rolled against the department that you'll be aware of. And I have been very clear that we have to get back to the rule of law. And in fact, it's even in the GNU Statement of Intent that we have to anchor our decisions in the rule of law. So the one thing we will not do is when there's an uproar about a particular individual, but there's no actual matter before Home Affairs, we cannot go and violate the Protection of Personal Information Act. Because if someone comes to me and makes an allegation against you, without any evidence, and suddenly a lot of people repeat that allegation, it would be a violation of your rights in terms of the Poppy Act for me to then go and say, but here's his papers, here's his nationality. So that's the one side. So I think it's been clear from Home Affairs that we are not going to be dragged into innuendos, rumors, and quite vicious episodes that we see on social media. However, there has been a development in the sense that people actually related to the matter have asked us to help put this matter to bed by verifying some of this information.
Yes.
Now, that is how it is supposed to work.
Yes.
If you have a complaint against someone, you bring prima facie evidence, because remember, the onus is on you to bring a complaint.
Yes.
You bring prima facie evidence to our counter-corruption unit, for example, and we will investigate the matter. That did not happen. There has not been a single actual complaint with actual evidence.
Not even one.
Wow. The only thing we've received are people related to this individual saying, can you please bring an end to this by verifying the information. So we will update the public once we've done that. But I do want to make it very clear.
Yes.
We are doing so with the consent of the individuals involved. We are doing so because they approached us, and we will not violate Poppy, undermine the rule of law in cases where people don't bring evidence or don't bring such proper applications. And I think you saw that over the past few days. And I know there was a lot of noise and a lot of people were shouting, do this, do that. That's not how it works in a country with the rule of law. We have a democratically elected government that's supposed to abide by the Constitution and all the laws, including the Poppy Act. We cannot be governed by social media, and we've seen some of the results of that over the years.
Because when we say it, King, you love Nigerians, you go to Nigeria, King, why don't you go and kiss the Nigerians, as you use insults because you are unable to bring your point across logically. You can't use superior logic to reason. Your reasoning capacity is low as a South African. So I want to start there. Number one, there is no one, not a patriotic alliance with those two criminals, Gayton McKenzie and Kenny Kunene. No, and what type of a name is Kenny anyway? Is Kenny a South African name? Kenny Kunene. Is Kenny a South African name anyway? Gayton McKenzie, are those South African names? What is South African exactly? That's what I was debating last time when I made a video. Those two individuals that were making so much noise. I mean, Gayton McKenzie came from Paris and came here and said, listen, I'm going to investigate this, and we are going to get to the bottom of this. Kenny Kunene got on live television and said, we are going to court. We want to get to we want to boycott this girl. She must not participate in Miss SA. So blah, blah, blah. Only to find out, these are just dogs barking behind the gate. They barking behind the gate because they can hide behind Afrophobia. They can hide behind their titles as members of parliament. They can hide behind their titles of being politicians. They can insult people, and you guys allow this type of things. And I'm saying, as Africans, find a way to bring your point across with respect. The Ubuntu spirit. Remember, white people say respect is earned. Black people said respect is taught. You understand what I'm saying? Us as black people, we are taught to respect everyone. A child, respect a child. An elder, respect an elder. Your peers, respect your peers. Your teacher, respect your peers. We are not from Dutch, where respect must be earned. You must earn my respect before I give you my respect. What type of rubbish is that? So no one has went to Home Affairs or to the courts to ask for clarification of Chidimma's citizenship. And that's why I told you guys, Miss S.H. probably told Chidimma, listen, shh, keep quiet. There's nothing in the courts. There's nothing in Home Affairs. There's nothing anywhere. And I told you guys, this is affecting the poor girl. It's unfair for us as South African to kick and spit her down without having the full evidence. Now, guess what? Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It's her family, it's her relatives that went to Home Affairs and said, listen, we are sick and tired of these things that is happening in the public domain. It's affecting our child. She's a child, by the way, in her 20s. She's a child. It's affecting our poor child. Now she's been punished because a child cannot choose which ethnic group they are born into. You cannot choose to be Zulu. You cannot choose to be Pedi. Your parents met a long time before you were here and they made you. It's not by choice. You cannot choose where you were born. If she could have been born in Nigeria or born in Mozambique or Swaziland or whatever, maybe she could have chosen. Some of us would have chosen a different country to be born in. But God does not allow things to work like that. You don't choose when you are born and you don't choose when you are going to die. The family is saying, can you please clarify this issue for the public? And we want those apologies when the Home Affairs come and clarifies. You understand? We want those apologies because it's the family now. And you guys must think, man, you must use your mind. If this was my family member, how would I feel? How would I feel? The way that she was attacked without any evidence, without anyone clarifying. And the Minister of Home Affairs is saying, listen, no case was brought in front of us. That's why we never clarified. Even now, our clarification is based because the relatives are asking us to clarify that. That's it. So I'm gonna also educate you more. Okay, let's leave them in South Africa. I've already told you guys. South Africa is not a Bantu thing. It's not an us thing as black people. They started it, the British people and the Dutch people, because that's a thing that was trending in Europe and wherever. And they started here in South Africa, I believe, in 1950s. Or when was it? 1956 or something. Yeah, 1956, somewhere there. And they held that competition and black people were not allowed to participate. Today, black people are allowed to participate. They think Miss South Africa is their thing. It's not your thing. You don't own it. You don't own anything in Miss South Africa. You understand what I'm saying? Even if we had to go and say, what is Miss South Africa? We had to go and check the maps of South Africa. And you would see with the old maps that South Africa, or originally the name of the entire Africa was Ethiopia. What is Ethiopia? Ethiopia is the people with the black face. That's how the European classified us. Say, those are the people of the black face. Ethiopia. You understand? So if you go to Ethiopia, the motherland, it's the direct translation. Eden. That is the name of Africa. But they broke it down. You guys know that they broke it down in 1884 to 1885. You guys know the Berlin Conference. I've repeated that many times here. The Berlin Conference is what broke Africa into 54 pieces, which is the countries that you guys are now proud of. Why people put you into these small borders? And you are so proud of South Africa. What is South Africa? You go back, South Africa did not even have borders. They put the borders there for you. And remember, when they put the borders, they were giving themselves citizenship. White people, they were giving themselves citizenship of South Africa. So South Africa initially, it had what you call 4 provinces, if we can call it that way. And that's how South Africa was known. Before that, South Africa had absolutely no borders. Because the gatherers, the hunters and the gatherers people, the Bantu people, the same people, the Khoi people, it's people that were living around the land. It was so nice. There's other maps that show that South Africa was called Monomota. I have absolutely no idea. That sounds like obviously a Bantu name. I have absolutely no idea why it was called that way. We then later called it Azania, but Azania was a Bantu slang to say Ezansi. if you check what is going on. So our people don't know where this name South Africa comes from. If you Google and say, who named South Africa? You know, is the British and the Dutch people that named South Africa. Exactly when? You know, because these people took our ancient education, because the education system was already there. Remember, the oldest calendar in South Africa, in the world, excuse me, is found in Mpumalanga, in Zwelo Yelanga. It is found there. The oldest calendar in Africa, why am I saying in Africa? In the world is found in Mpumalanga. Google the Mpumalanga pyramids. Google what is going on. Know your history. That is why we want to start Paseta, because our children are constantly being given the wrong history books. The history books are written by our colonizers. Know your history. Know your history. You guys, you've got Google now. Luckily, Google still makes the mistakes of keeping some records that are credible in terms of the proper history of us, the African people. Also Africa is a Latin name that was given to us later on. But we need to know these things. You can't be proud of Miss South Africa. You never started it. It's nothing that you started. You can be proud of the South African Communist Party. I mean, the South African, the ANC. Why am I forgetting ANC? Well, you can, the African National Congress. You can be proud of the African National Congress. That's something that you started. You can be proud of the Pan-African Party of Azania, Congress of Azania. That is your party. You can be proud of Azapo. Those are the things that you started during the apartheid era. You can't be proud of Miss South Africa. You never started it. It's not your own. It will never be your own. And Miss South Africa is a competition where people enter on the grounds of citizenship. So Indians can win Miss South Africa as long as they've got South African citizenship. And in fact, they have already in the past. You never complained because you see Indians as South Africans also. You see? That's what we are saying. So I just wanted to give you guys that small brief background of South Africa, the country. It's so amazing how the maps started developing slowly but surely. In the beginning, it was only the coastals where had names, and these names were given by our colonizers again to assume that our people never had names. So, for example, if I ask you what is the original name, and this is a homework that I'm giving you guys now. What is the original name of Table Mountain? Go and search what is the original name of Table Mountain and comment on the comment section if you got that one. It's on Google. Just Google it, please. Because sometimes we say things and you guys don't go and research it yourself, and that is not education. And Pan-Africanism is about decolonizing the mind by giving you guys proper education. So go and search what is the name of Table Mountain. All of these places, Drankenberg, all of these places had names before these people came. It's just the maps that they put in there is the maps that they put in our schooling system, and that's the names that we are going by now. You understand what I'm saying? So is that all I wanted to say? Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say, and that is on the backbone of why we wanted to build Paseta. Our children are crying. Our children are saying, please teach us business skills so we can start businesses that can solve our black problems. We want to know how to create water, how to manufacture vehicles that move without petrol, vehicles that move without oil. We want to start technologies that can diagnose sicknesses early before they come. We want to get technology that can help people with heart attacks, kidney stones, cancer, HIV, diseases, all of those things. Our children, they deserve to get that type of education. Not an education when you come out is a matric certificate. It carries no weight in life. You don't know what the herbs are. You don't know how to farm. You don't know anything about the technology world, because AI is going to take over. It's only Africa that is behind. Already China and Europe and America are investing billions into AI technology. It's only us, Tina, who want to. AI is writing exams now for children. It's writing essays, it's passing assignments, whether you are still doing assignments the old way. My African people, we need to participate in this, or otherwise Africa will be left behind. But anyway, thank you so much, everyone that has donated to PASETA, the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture. Please, please, please go to our website, www.paseta.co.za. Make sure you go to our website, see the website there, see what is going on there, put in your names there, service us. You can go there if you want. You've got a skill that you want to give to us, and whatever you want to participate, you want to be involved in what we are doing in terms of the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture. Please feel free to go there. And those who haven't already, please send your contribution of building the school. It's only 50 rand that I'm asking from each African child. 50 rand. Please commit only 50 rand to this beautiful initiative. We can't do it without you. And remember, Tina will be laughed, because the next generation will look at us as a stupid generation. A generation that was only famous on TikTok. A generation that was only famous on Facebook and Instagram. A generation that was good in sports, piano, entertainment. A generation that, all of these things that does not change the quality of life of black people. They will look at us and they will ask us, guys, when you guys were still young, what were you guys doing? Well, in your 20s, what were you doing? In your 30s, what were you doing? In your 40s, what is it that exactly that you guys did as a generation? And what we can't answer them and say, no, we started a YouTube account. What is a YouTube account going to help the coming generation? After liberating the mind, after giving you the information, then what? What is the next step? What is the intelligence that we have gained if it does not propel us into action? Nzokhuluma the whole day. Thank you so much, guys. Until we meet next time, don't forget to pray. After you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute you.